What's poppin', Matthew?
What's poppin', Austin?
Well, I'm excited. Why? Because we have a new movie coming out.
We do. It's an adaptation of one of my all-time favorite fictional characters.
Friends, this is Popcorn Optimist.
Popcorn Optimist.
Hello, my name is Austin Sanders, and that is Matthew Whitfield. Welcome to Popcorn Optimist, a film appreciation podcast that believes the more context we have, the more likely we are to appreciate film. This is our series about the week's new releases, and it's called...
Think of Cinebills as a contextual preview. When we go to the theater or a museum or even a sporting event, we're often given a program that provides greater contextual information about what we're about to experience. We don't get that at the movies, and that's what this is.
Without further ado, please enjoy our Cinebill for Destin Daniel Cretton's new film, Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Did you stretch? You a big stretcher? It's so good for you. You ready?
4 years have passed since the events of No Way Home, and Peter is now an adult living entirely alone, having voluntarily erased himself from the lives and memories of those he loves. Crime fighting in a New York that no longer knows his name, he's devoted himself entirely to protecting his city, a full-time Spider-Man. But as demands on him intensify, the pressure sparks a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence, even as a strange new pattern of crimes gives rise to one of the most powerful threats he has ever faced. Rating, PG-13. Runtime, 145 minutes. Release date, July 31st, 2026. Distributed by Sony Pictures.
Moving right along to cast and crew, starting off with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Holland is known for the 85 other MCU Spider-Man things, plus this summer's The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. The movie also stars Zendaya as MJ. Zendaya, known for the Dune films, directed by Denis Villeneuve, 2024's Challengers, directed by Luca Guadagnino, and this year's The Drama.
Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. More on him later. Written by Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, Justin Kuritzkis. Kuritzkis, known for writing 2024's Challengers and Queer, both directed by Luca Guadagnino. Music by Michael Giacchino, known for his work on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. And Austin's favorite work of his output for Pixar's Ratatouille, Up, Inside Out, and his very jazzy John Barry-esque score for The Incredibles. Cinematography by Brett Pollock. Pollock has previously worked with Destin Daniel Cretton on Short Term 12 and Just Mercy. Fight choreography and stunt choreography by Peng Zhang and the Jackie Chan stunt team.
And finally, notes and harkens. Harkens is a term that we'll return to later. Starting off with director Destin Daniel Cretton. He was born in 1978 in Haiku, Hawaii. He went to school at San Diego State University. Fun fact, as part of his 2010 Nickel Fellowship, which requires winners to write an original script within a year, more on that in a sec, Cretton wrote and shot an entirely separate indie, I Am Not a Hipster, about San Diego's indie music scene, making him the only Nickel winner ever to have both his submission script and his fellowship year script turned into produced feature films. The other script was 2013's Short Term 12, Cretton's 2013 breakout film starring frequent collaborator Brie Larson. Larson plays the supervisor of a group home for troubled teenagers. The film was informed by Cretton's own experiences as a line staff worker at a similar facility. It's a great movie showing Cretton's commitment to telling personal stories. This was followed by 2017's The Glass Castle, another collaboration between Larson and Cretton. It also features Woody Harrelson, Naomi Watts, and Spider-Man Brand New Day co-star Sadie Sink. He followed that up with 2019's Just Mercy, based on lawyer and social justice advocate Brian Stevenson's memoir of the same name. The film stars Michael B. Jordan as Stevenson, Jamie Foxx, and again, Brie Larson. And he followed this up with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings from 2021, his first blockbuster and first MCU film. A kind of dry run with key crew returning for Brand New Day, including Giacchino and the Jackie Chan stunt team. It's pretty rockin', and it stars Simu Liu and the great Tony Leung. He also made this year's Wonder Man, the celebrated Disney Plus TV show about Simon Williams, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Simon Williams, an actor trying to make it in Hollywood who may or may not have superpowers. Hallmarks of Cretton include personal storytelling. Each of Cretton's films feels quite personal, each one telling a story grounded in a recognizable human truth. This is true throughout his filmography, but is especially apparent in Short Term 12 and Shang-Chi. He also uses a verite style, a quasi-documentary handheld style that makes rehearsed scenes feel caught on the fly, built on letting actors redirect a scene when it doesn't feel true. Across every film, indie and Marvel alike, his through line is characters rebuilding found family after losing their support system. And another hallmark includes working with the great Brett Pollack. Speaking of verite, Cretton's work with Pollack has been a highlight of Cretton's films, and it's especially exciting to see how they capture a character as visually dynamic as Spider-Man. Some interesting production notes include the reliance on practical production. Cretton seems to have gone out of his way to capture as much Spidey action in camera as possible, utilizing the Jackie Chan stunt team after working together on some very cool sequences in Shang-Chi. And speaking of visuals, this movie has several comic book cover homages. Cretton, on top of wanting to keep things personal, wanted to embrace the fantastic iconography from the comics, going so far as to recreate images from the comics. And of course, the history of Spider-Man is a long and storied one. Spider-Man debuted in Amazing Fantasy number 15, 1962, written by Stan Lee and drawn by Steve Ditko. This is, of course, not the first bit of Spider-Man multimedia. No. Previous examples include Spider-Man from 2002, the original Sam Raimi directed trilogy starring Tobey Maguire. Anybody remember the original Twin Towers teaser? Also Spider-Man 2 from 2004, my personal favorite live-action comic book movie of all time. And Spider-Man 3 from 2007, the less well-received third film. The series would be rebooted with The Amazing Spider-Man from 2012, directed by Mark Webb and starring Andrew Garfield, followed up by The Amazing Spider-Man 2 from 2014, before ultimately being rebooted again with MCU's Spider-Man's first appearance in Captain America Civil War.
On the roof!
Hey everyone.
Solo appearances include Spider-Man Homecoming from 2017, Spider-Man Far From Home from 2019, Spider-Man No Way Home from 2021. We also have the much-celebrated animated film starring Miles Morales, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse from 2018, my all-time favorite comic book movie.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse from 2023. We have the 1960s animated series. Spider-Man. We have the 1990s animated series, the beloved but short-lived mid-2000s series Spectacular Spider-Man, the new series on Disney+, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is quite good, the Broadway musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, not to mention the deservedly celebrated PlayStation games, the 1970s live-action TV show, which is wild, and the 1970s Toei Spider-Man, which is really, really wild. And harkens. Harkens is a term that describes a film that harkens back to a previous film. That's not really how the term works, but my wife likes it, so here we are. The trailer seems to suggest that Peter is going through some kind of physical transformation as a result of his spider bite, which makes me think of body horror, a subgenre of horror fiction featuring destruction or violations of human bodies. Examples of this include Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, that was recently turned into a film directed by Guillermo del Toro, The Fly from 1958, directed by Kurt Newman, about a scientist who turns into a human fly. And if we're gonna talk about body horror, we have to talk about the granddaddy of body horror, Canadian auteur David Cronenberg. The Fly was remade in 1986 by Cronenberg. It has great performances and it rules. And for a more modern reference, check out 2024's The Substance.
If you're looking to do a double feature prior to, in order to have maximum appreciation for this movie, there are worse places you can start than right here.
And for your double feature, we recommend, of course, The Fly, directed by David Cronenberg. I mean, if there's one movie about turning into a bug, it's this one. It's horrific, it's fun, it's truly excellent, and this is probably as accessible as Cronenberg is gonna get. And of course, Short Term 12, Cretton's breakout film, showcasing his commitment to personal storytelling. It's beautiful, it's great, you're gonna love it. How much of any of this you actually need to know to enjoy the movie? I don't know, probably none of it.
But we hope this information enhances your enjoyment and appreciation for the movie when you do see it.
Join us for next week's Cinebill, where we'll be discussing Jane Schoenbrand's new film, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
Some psycho killer's gonna chop you up into a million little pieces.
Popcorn Optimist.
Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web in his eyes, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. This is strong, this is good. He's got radioactive